Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Wonderful Relationship. You know, being in a relationship is just fantastic, isn't it? The love, the laughter, the companionship. And then there are the disagreements. We all have them. It's like that old saying, how can you be with someone and never have a single argument? And the answer is, you can't. But here's the thing. It's not about disagreements. It's about you handle them. That's what makes all the difference. Today we're diving into the art of fighting fair. Yes, it's an art! With 10 tips to help you and your partner navigate those little bumps in the road without turning a tiny fender bender into a 10-car pileup. Trust me, these tips can be real relationship savers. They can help you keep those disagreements from turning into something bigger and more hurtful. Remember, we all want that fairy tale ending, right? But even in fairy tales, there's always a little bit of drama. The key is to keep it from turning into a full-blown dragon attack. We're going for happily ever after, people. Now let's get to it. Tip number 1, listen up. Active listening is key. Tip number 1 might seem simple, but trust me, it's crucial. Active listening. You know how when you're telling your partner about your day and they're just scrolling through their phone, not really paying attention, and you're like, hello, Earth to partner. Yeah, not active listening. Active listening means putting your phone down, turning towards your partner, and really hearing what they're saying. It means making eye contact, nodding your head, and asking clarifying questions. It's like, okay, tell me more about how that made you feel. And here's a little secret. Sometimes just feeling heard is enough to lower the temperature of an argument. Really, when your partner feels heard, they feel validated, understood, and less likely to turn into a yelling banshee. And that's what we want, right? No banshees in this relationship. Okay, tip number 2, stay calm. It's so easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment and let our emotions get the best of us. But yelling and screaming? Not a good look. And honestly, it just makes it harder to hear what the other person is saying. Think of it this way. Would you rather have a conversation with a calm and collected individual, or someone who's about to blow their top like a cartoon volcano? Exactly. So, take a deep breath, count to 10, whatever it takes to keep your cool. Remember, we're aiming for a peaceful resolution, not a shouting match. Tip number 3, take breaks. Sometimes, you just need a little space to cool down and gather your thoughts. It's like when you're trying to solve a really hard puzzle, and you just need to step away from it for a little bit. If things are getting too heated, it's perfectly okay to say, hey, I need a few minutes to calm down before we continue this conversation. Go for a walk, listen to some music, do whatever you need to do to de-stress. And here's the thing. Coming back to the conversation with a clear head can make all the difference. You'll be able to approach the situation with a fresh perspective and a calmer demeanor. Tip number 4, let it go, avoiding past issues. Tip number 4, avoid bringing up past issues. This is a big one, folks. Dragging up old arguments is like bringing dirty laundry to a picnic. It just stinks up the whole atmosphere. Focus on the issue at hand and leave the past in the past. It's not fair to your partner to keep rehashing old wounds. Remember, we're trying to build a stronger relationship here, and constantly bringing up past hurts is like trying to build a house on a foundation of quicksand. Not gonna work. Tip number 5, use I statements. This is a classic communication tip, and for good reason. When you use you statements, it can make your partner feel attacked and defensive. For example, instead of saying, you're always late, try saying, I feel frustrated when I feel like I'm waiting for you. See the difference? I statements help you take ownership of your feelings and express yourself in a way that's less likely to start a fight. It's like magic. Tip number 6, focus on the issue, not the person. When you're arguing, it's easy to get sidetracked and start attacking your partner's character. But name-calling and personal attacks are never productive. Remember, you're on the same team. Instead of pointing fingers and placing blame, focus on finding a solution to the problem. It's like you wouldn't criticize the chef if the soup was cold, right? You'd just ask them to warm it up. Same thing here. Focus on the problem, not the person. Tip number 7. Be willing to compromise. Remember, a relationship is a two-way street. It's not always about getting your way. It's about finding a solution that works for both of you. Be open to hearing your partner's perspective and be willing to meet them halfway. Because at the end of the day, isn't a happy compromise better than a bitter victory? Tip number 8. Show empathy. Put yourself in your partner's shoes. Try to see things from their perspective, even if you don't agree with them. Remember, everyone has their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences that shape their worldview. So, before you jump to conclusions, take a moment to understand where your partner is coming from. It's like that saying, don't judge a man until you've walked a mile in his shoes. Or, in her shoes. Or their shoes. We're all about inclusivity here. Tip number 8. Apologize when you're wrong. This one can be tough, but it's so important. We all make mistakes, and it's okay to admit when we're wrong. A sincere apology can go a long way in repairing hurt feelings and rebuilding trust. And you know what? It also shows your partner that you respect them enough to take responsibility for your actions. And finally, tip number 10. End on a positive note. Even if you don't see eye to eye on everything, try to end the conversation with a positive sentiment. Remind your partner that you love them and that you're in this together. A little bit of love and reassurance can go a long way in smoothing things over. So there you have it, folks. 10 tips to help you fight fair and keep your relationship strong. Remember, disagreements are a normal part of any relationship, but it's how you handle them that makes all the difference. So the next time you and your honey find yourselves in a little spat, take a deep breath and remember these tips. You've got this. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more relationship advice. Until next time, keep those sparks flying.